Hello, 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 and welcome to Business Mindset with ABOS. I am your host, Angela Middleton, and today is Thursday, February 11th, 2021, and tonight's topic is going virtual, how to pivot. So thank you for joining me tonight. Amazingly, I had to do both for tonight's episode, going virtual and knowing how to pivot. So due to the weather, I thought it best not to go to the WSLQ iRadio studio tonight, and I decided to stay in the house and stream this live from my office. So I had to revamp my schedule, pivot, and go another direction. Same with my co-host for tonight. I had an unexpected cancellation, and Silko Thomas from SilkHeart Productions cannot join us tonight. So I had to scramble and get another co-host. So I will introduce my co-host in a moment, but I'm so pleased that he was available to come and join me today. But let me introduce my first co-host, Akiva Mclam. How are you, sir?
Hey, how you doing? Good evening to you.
Good. This is from, Mclam Enterprise Productions. And he too is streaming from his home.
Exactly. I'm trying to get on your page and watch us live.
Oh, okay. So see, we're trying to pivot. We're trying to do multiple things.
Good evening,
so
everybody.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you joining me.
Happy to be here.
I'm sorry?
Happy to be here.
Thank you. So we are still trying to connect with my second co-host. So we will try back in a moment, but we can move forward with Mr. McClam and talk to him.
I'm the only one in the hot. I'm in the hot spot, huh?
So you're in the hot seat for just a moment. But listen, I have a plan C because I know how to pivot.
Right.
If nothing more, I know how to pivot.
Right.
So let's get started with Mr. Akiva Mclam. So you are from McClam Enterprise Productions. Yes. Right? So give us a little bit about, I want to ask all my guests the story behind your business name.
Okay.
So how did you come about, one, getting into the business of Enterprise Productions, and when you decided to do that, what was the history behind you and your name?
So the name started off with I was talking to a pastor, right? Okay. And he was giving us at a time when Leslie and I, he was talking to us about us working together as a couple. And he said, I see a McClam Enterprise Production. You know what I'm saying? So
wow, so he just gave you the name.
He just gave me the name. But the thing is, though, when he said that, I'm gonna give him credit. Pastor Brown, he was pastor of Kingdom Baptist Church, and he went out to San Antonio. And so immediately when he said that name, because names in the Bible is very important. When God named you, you know what I'm saying? If it's named by God, you know it, you can feel it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Other people start recognizing it. So when he said it, and he said McClam Enterprise Production, it immediately hit my spirit, and I was like, wow, you know what? I do see something out of this. You know what I'm saying? When two can work together and make it a business, and not only make it a business, but make it God's business, and that's what McClam Enterprise Productions is known for, doing ministry for God in a creative way of making stage plays, But as we're going to talk about the show, because of COVID, we got to learn how to pivot during this situation. But that's how McClam Enterprise Productions name started, and I received that. So anytime that question is asked, I always want to give them credit.
Good. That's absolutely outstanding. So how did you get started? Like, what was your history? What was your what was your gift or what was your passion or otherwise? Like, how did you get into McClam Enterprise Productions?
It's all started by once again Leslie. She asked me the time we was going to Lighthouse Baptist Church. Senior pastor there is Calvin Johnson, and they needed a Christmas production. So she volunteered me and to the pastor. She's like, well, Akiva can do it. So when she called me, and I'm like, why you volunteered me? I don't write plays. I never done it. Right?
Really?
That was in 2000. That was in 2007, 2008. Right? 2008. And never wrote a play in my life. Never even thought about writing a play. You know, never. But I had a big imagination, and she knew that.
Okay.
When we were attending Bethune-Cookman University at the time, it was called Bethune-Cookman College. So my Wildcats family, give them a shout out to HBCU, Daytona Beach, Florida. So she knew I had a robust imagination, and I shared that, with her, and she knew that. So she volunteered me in a way, and I guess he saw something that I didn't see in myself, right? And so
that's important.
Angela, as soon as I said yes to that, honestly, as soon as I said yes, I do it, right? Without even knowing if I can do it, I just say yes. God, I'm telling you, no lie. This is the only play I ever wrote, and this is the fastest play I ever wrote because I said yes right there. So as soon as I say yes, I just literally just start seeing visions of words just start floating around me. Angela, I wrote that play in 7 days.
Wow, an entire Christmas play.
It's called My Christmas Story. That was my first stage play, and without any education, without any going to school and all that stuff. It was
no experience.
No experience at all.
Nothing.
It was just me saying yes to God, and He just said, "Okay, now you're ready." You know what I'm saying? And so I wrote that play in 7 days, right? And so when I saw the reaction of the people after the production, because I never directed, but God led me to the right people in that church. I was using people that goes to that church already, I said, I see you fit this personality and this character. I see you can sing. I can utilize your skills by you being a singer, fit you in a play, and give you a couple of roles, and you singing it. Oh, I never thought like that. And that's how I started doing, right? And I directed the play, wrote it, and boom, and produced it. And then we did it, and then they gave me a standing ovation at the end, and I'm looking like, what in the world is going on?
So right? you not only became a playwright, but you became a producer and a director.
Overnight.
Stage manager, because you were getting your own actors.
Yeah.
Everything.
Stage manager. But I give that to God the glory because I said yes. As soon as I say yes, He encrypted me like He encrypted David to kill Goliath. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I had a great time with that production. I had we still talk about it today in 2008. So that's how I started. And then after I said yes to it, He started giving me more visions, right? And my next play, if the viewers can see, this is my basement area where I have all my plays all around the room. And other side of the wall, I have the other play I wrote in Cain and Abel. Okay. And that's when God started giving me the vision for that play, Angela. I wish it was in 7 days, but I realized that some plays gonna come quick, some plays gonna take a year, but this play took me 7 months, right? But the thing is, went from 7 days to 7 months. That's a big difference. So,
but with no experience,
no experience, no
history, no education. I think that's amazing.
That's all God.
To have written a whole play in 7 months with absolutely no experience.
No experience. And so, and basically, about starting a business. If I were to think that every play I'm going to write in 7 days because of the first one, and I could have it's a big gap between 7 days and 7 months. I could have literally got discouraged that I can't do this, right? And gave up. But no, God knew my dedication, my commitment, and my willingness to say yes, and my passion for it. And the big imagination turned into a passion. So now that when He birthed in me, I think about it all the time. I always thinking about movements of things like that, constantly thinking,
Right. That's amazing. Welcome, Alicia. Alicia says, very impressive, sir.
Oh, Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yes, very impressive, sir. Don't doubt yourself, because that's amazing. But it just leads to the fact that when you say yes to God's gift for you, to God's direction, to God's path,
Right.
everything falls into place.
Everything falls into place.
Everything falls into place. And if you've seen my broadcast last week, February 4th, Thursday at 6 o'clock, you would have heard my story. And he did the same thing, for me. I wasn't thinking about being a business owner. I wasn't thinking about having this assured business office services whatsoever. But I asked the question, like, what is next? What can I do? And like you, it just poured into me. And ever since then, it's just been coming like a whirlwind, and it hasn't even been 4 months yet. So I'm just amazed at what God can do when you just simply say yes. Simply say yes. So how did you go about your second production? Was it more difficult, less difficult, because you had experience already? Like, how did you go about doing that from scratch?
So the way God gave me the template how to write the script, and like I said, I never went to school how to write a script, right? And literally still sit back. Sometimes I think like this is come easy, but when I talk to other people, they say, "Man, that's very like your listener said, very impressive." I write word for each character, right? Then I bring in, I research the songs, how to fit in that scene, right? So Cain and Abel, I just basically thought of using things that was personal to me, and it's therapeutic, and I put it on stage, but I make it into characters, right? And that's why some of the plays that I do that I have written, I put my personal life in these characters.
Okay.
And and that's when I talk about basically therapeutic for me. So Cain and Abel is about a story between a grandmother raising two grandson. One chose the streets, one chose God, right? And she put everything into this in raising us. But when kids, some people go that route, other people go that route. But it was us not refusing to let go of my brother. We went into his world and pulled him out of that life. And in that play, we show the change from the transformation of his life in that play called Cain and Abel.
Nice. That's very interesting. Right. Very interesting. So we can find all of your plays where?
Well, you can go to my website, McClam Enterprise Productions.com. See, in the beginning, we didn't have a lot of good footage for our video, but these are the things I'm pivoting now to change to be able to have a lot of my shows been viewed on video. But in the beginning, as you learn, and as you do a business, you learn as you go. You make mistakes, and you got to be willing to look at those mistakes and learn from those mistakes. And those are things that I said I should have put more money towards marketing, should put towards money for video guys to be able to capture, because what people are going to ask you, okay, so you can explain your business very well, but can you show it? Where's the video? I was like, you know what? I didn't never want to put myself in that situation again.
But that's growth, right? You were just starting out. Again, you were uneducated in this skill craft, so you had to learn as you went. Right. So that's amazing. Still, so how many productions have you done so far? Like, you counting the wall?
I know. I think I have written about 6 plays. 6 plays. Yeah, 6 plays.
2007?
Well, include my first one, 7 plays. 7 plays.
And you started in 2007?
2008.
2008. And you have 7 plays.
7 plays, yeah.
I mean, that's all I can say. Kudos.
And the good thing about it, if you look at some of the people, one thing about it, I love working with people, right? And these are people from the local DMV, right behind me.
Right.
You got all around this local DMV actors and singers. We got some people from out of Atlanta, Georgia now, and Harlem, New York. Stuff like that now.
Okay. Nice. So let's talk about the pivot.
All right, let's do
Let's
it.
talk about the pivot. So everybody in the whole wide world was affected by COVID-19,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in 2020, crazy year.
Mm-hmm.
And it was devastating for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but eye-opening for many, and doing something, being innovative for
Mm-hmm.
some.
Right.
So in a world like yours, in production,
Mm-hmm.
in stage plays, how did you first react to the pandemic?
Well, it was a tragedy for the theater, and not only for
Yeah.
us in on a, I won't say a lower setting, but if you look at even New York,
Hmm.
Broadway, they was affected by it. Even big La Hollywood, they was affected by it. You look at how the movies changed. They couldn't do any movies because of people catching COVID. So they had to shut things down, and we think and we strategize.
Okay.
Before streaming came on, they didn't have an answer. It was just shut down pretty much. We'll get back with you. And then all of
Mm.
a sudden, streaming started coming to play here and there. You hear the word streaming. Only time we hear streaming was in church. A lot of churches were streaming at the time.
That's true.
But that was a point to point, not really moving the cameras too much. But when you're doing a production, there's a different type of streaming you have to do with the broadband, or how many guests going to be on there. Because if you don't pay for a lot of broadband, you got everyone trying to go to that and watch it. It's going to freeze up. So that's going to make you look bad, pretty much. So there's a
Hmm.
lot of work you got to go into this before you decide to do streaming. But like I say, in 2020, it was new. It was new. So you got to think about that point of with during that time frame, we pivot. Well, I'll take this back. God already started giving me ideas about what I should do, and the streaming came to play. And I was doing some research, and I came across a company called Boxcast, Boxcast. One thing about Boxcast, very good company. However, when we was about to do we did a production, successfully did a production. Matter of fact, you was there, and we was gonna stream it. I think during that time frame, Angela, I think we probably the only one, maybe one or two decided to do streaming for their plays. And I took a chance. We took a chance and decided to do it. But guess what? It didn't work out. It didn't work out.
Hmm.
Me being a professional a little bit, I would say a little bit, but I was I am. It was challenging to accept that I couldn't do something, right?
Mm.
But
That's big.
everything happened for a reason. I think about when Will Smith said this. He said failure, he said learn to live to have failure in your life. He said because he said fail often, fail big, and he keeps saying and fail, because he said those failures you learn from them. It strengthens you. It builds character, right?
It
So
does.
during that time frame, I had to fail at that point. God allowed me to fail in that area. But
Hmm.
the show went on. It was a great show. I got a lot of emails and remarks behind the show.
I enjoyed it.
Right. So the thing is, though, just the preparation of going to a stream, which was new to everybody, and I
Hmm.
thought I had everything in order. However, Boxcast, and they admitted they forgot to tell me about one device. It was the capture card, where the capture card would plug in all the cameras. I even went out and bought this $250 camera switcher. They can switch up to 4 cameras. We
Hmm.
already had the camera set up, ready to go. Thank you for Silko Thomas. He had all that, and also Sean Terrain. I had 2 cameramen gonna work like 2 to 3 cameras.
Hmm.
Everything good, ready to go. We just did the first show, and only the second show is gonna be the streaming. And I was like, okay. As soon as the first show was done, I was already working to get the streaming up. And I'm like, why am I keep getting this black still? We had the black before the full dress rehearsal to my website, which that was a good sign.
Hmm.
However, to get the video, we needed the capture card. So I told Boxcast, I immediately called them on the phone. I said, I got a full house in the house. Why is my streaming videos not coming on? And they said, everything looks good in the settings, looks good. But the only thing is you don't have a capture card. And I said, why are you guys now telling me this at this last minute? So, Angela, I had to pivot.
I had to pivot.
I had to make an executive decision and say we couldn't do it because my concern was the Full House audience, right? But one thing I did, we went on and took care of the audience and we had an amazing show. But also my pivot was to fix that situation. I went out to my production manager. I said, send out an email, encourage the email to everyone who's streaming and let them know what the issue is. But we handled that. We learned from that, Angela. We wouldn't say we made a mistake, but it was an issue that we had to learn from to be able to move forward. But guess what? We had a hot wash. You was on the call. My other team was on the call, and we learned from that situation. Yep. And guess what? God showed me. He taught me some character in that. He taught me how to realize that I can't always put myself in front of the audience, in front of the audience that coming in, because I was dealing with a lot of people at that time, plus directing and plus all that stuff. And guess what? From out of that, I got me a 10-man team now. And guess what? I love you guys because now y'all saying, we need to protect you, sir.
Excuse me, sir. That's the first thing I said to you. You're doing too many things.
Right. But guess what?
Let me talk to you for a minute.
and guess what? That's why your company came in and played with Fear Solution out in Florida. I got two ABOSs, you know what I'm saying? Two strong women coming out. One handled the Southern Regional and the other half of the Northern Regional, you know, so we got big plans. So whenever I need to reach out to the South side, I'll call Adria Hightower. And then the Northern side.
How do you contact her? Excuse me?
Oh, well, through what? You mean for streaming?
No. For you said her business name was what?
Fierce Solution. And we'll put that on the
there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
For the Fierce Solution, FIERCE Solution. Yeah. Got it. And she handles basically we had a hot wash. It all came down to pivoting from that show. Yep. It had to happen, Angela, because I realized what God doing. He is pushing me in deeper water, right? I had to learn how to handle the pressure, right? And guess what? Well, I'm a captain, so you know. Oh man, I probably lost all your listeners now. Since I said that.
Oh, don't charge it to them, people. Don't charge it to them.
That's right. We got a saying: when you burn something, you got to go through it, and then that beautiful diamond come out, right? And it shines. God is pushing me in deeper water, but I had to go through some heat. You know what I'm saying? He's shining me up, preparing me. So I learned some carrots. I learned how to develop my team now that I reach out. And also I want to give a shout out to my operation manager / partner, Reginald Humphrey. The man is amazing. He sit behind, he knows the situation, what goes on behind the scene. And he goes hard. So, I mean, I got an amazing team, but I had to learn how to pivot and utilize them and put them to work and sit back and say, you know what, y'all got it. Let y'all do y'all thing.
Exactly. I mean, when you talk about knowing your role and how to pivot and doing things that you are supposed to do, that's why I established Assure Business Office Services for people, businesses like you, that you're doing too much. You know, you get to a point where you overreach your means. Right. So you've gotten to a point where you can't touch everything, and you developed an entire 10-member team because of that one situation. And had that not happened, you probably would have been doing everything solo, like you were doing for the past 11 years.
But you know what? It's funny, and I think about some other people, playwrights who've been in my situation and moved on, like David Talbert. You know, he's from this area, David Talbert. You know, of course, Tyler Perry. Those guys they made a pathway for us. You know, they set the bar for us. And I'm sure at one time they had to feel like they had to do it all. They were doing it all by themselves until they developed a cast that believed in them and said, no matter what, Tyler, we're going to go and follow your vision. right?
Yep.
And David Talbot had the same cast. We're gonna follow your vision. And guess what? If you got a real heart and if you believe in that person should not forget about you. Now that's
right.
how I am. But guess
right.
what? I am sure, and I put all my pennies in the bank on this thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure there are some people Tyler Perry had to let go. I'm sure there's some people David Talbot had to let go.
Absolutely.
Because what people don't realize, there's a lot of personalities we have to deal with when we're dealing with so many people who wants to be a part of a production. You know, there's some people I already know I have to let go, and they already been let go. You know what I'm saying? There's some people I would never work with. There's some people I would never do business with. That's just part of the business.
It is.
So, but my thing is, if I heard this saying before, if the milk start to smell, right, or the self-tape start to smell, you better smell it and let it go. Just let it go. Because if you continue to keep that milk, it's going to get worse and worse and worse, and it's going to give an awful smell. And I realized that some people, it was starting to smell, and I had to let it go because I got tired of the smell.
You can't keep a hold of rotten milk.
No, you can't.
Rotten people, toxic people. You have to move forward.
Yeah.
But we have a couple of guests on the line. I just wanted to say, have a shout out. Hello, thank you, welcome. If you're joining us today, send me a comment so I know who you are. Say hi to me so I can say hi back. Send me a comment so I'll know that you're joining me. And thank you so much for joining me.
Yes.
All right. So let's see. What new? Okay, so another question. What new innovations did you incorporate? And I think you touched a little bit about that before, but I believe you have some ongoing projects that you expanded even more.
I am.
Talk about that.
So, Angela, with your show called Pivoting, right, and dealing with COVID, in order to stay in this business, to be effective, you got to think long term and how to recover from this COVID season. You know, because right now nobody doing anything right now because everyone's afraid to go into a large place to sit next to somebody and watch an hour and a half long play. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because someone sneeze over there, they'd be like, you know,
right, kick them out. Kick them out. I'll be the first one. They have to go, Akiva.
You gotta go, you know.
Don't play with me.
Right. But you know, the thing is now is that once again, God is showing me how to pivot and use my talent in different other ways. I'm still mentally writing plays and putting what's in my thoughts on script during the COVID season. I'm taking this advantage of being home now and working behind the scene writing plays. But also God's giving me a few more things that require video now. So he's taking my ideas and not only put it on stage, but put it on video. So I got a web series coming out. It's a musical drama series, and it's featuring two. Basically, it's about the COVID, right? That everything is real time, is real life situation now where everything gets shut down. The church, the entertainment, all that stuff. So where are the artists gonna go? I mean, they frustrated. They're like, we need to rehearse. We need to still perform. So they find this play called the Q Lounge, right? So you got the gospel artists coming to the Q Lounge. You got the secular singers coming to the Q Lounge to share this stage, to rehearse and all this stuff. So this young lady who's in the church sees this nice handsome man across, doing his thing by himself over there with his group, and she finds a appeal, an attraction with this guy, right? So now she's interested in knowing this guy. Now this, so it's a gospel artist singer want to get down with some guy they never went to church. So we're gonna show this love affair, how it comes to play, and how it's involved into this web series. And so what we're gonna do now, we're gonna take these singers all in the DMV, the poets, people who do poems and things like that, poetry, and we got comedians. We're gonna put all this on thing, and they come to this place called the Q Lounge, where this place is known as for streaming all these productions in this place called the Q Lounge. And so that's how it's going. So it's called the Q, and it's gonna be coming. We write it now. We got the trailer gonna be coming out soon. We're gonna be doing that, and also we have I got my notes here. I got a short film that God gave me called "I Ain't No Stitch." I had to use it like that because that grammar like that because I'm dealing with teenagers in this short film, I Ain't No Snitch. So that's the second project. And then I also got a video blog. I call it the Playwrights Corner. And this is what I feature pretty much what you see the plays behind me, where I go in deep thoughts about each character that I have written about and go in detail and use that as a storyline to be able to minister to people what that person was going through in the play, in the play. And so during that time frame, Angela, I invited people to come on the show. I was interviewed by Dr. Primrose Cameron from Daytona Beach in her Cameron Chronicles, where I was on the set of the Playwrights Corner. I was able to talk to female third graders all the way up to 12th graders about utilizing their dream, their imagination. You know, like I was happy about that, be able to pour into them and see them. It's like, my goodness, he's talking. He understands how I'm feeling. To hear a third grader say that to Dr. Primrose. And then I was invited to talk to the young adults streaming in Denver, Colorado. They was talking about they had a show, not a show. It was a youth night, right? And they had a lot of people. I was one of the panelists on there, and I was able to talk from a playwright side to the young adults about how to utilize their gift within the church. So there's a lot of stuff been going on during COVID that I've been busy, you know, and I'm currently writing for this web series, currently writing for this short film, and also thanks to Kevin Simon out of the let me get his name right, International Visual. He's my videographic guy who's going to be shooting the video of the web series, but he also want to utilize my testimony and turn it into a film. I mean, not a film, sorry, into a video, an inspirational video that we're going to just give it out to the people to be able to minister to them. And reason why this is so close to my heart, Angela, is because during one of my productions that I did in October last year, now remember I said this, doing it, I found that I had chronic leukemia, right?
Wow.
Yeah, I was carrying an illness around, a cancer around me that it was bothering me during this time frame, and I had to pivot, right? I had to pivot and sit back and adjust. Like, am I going to
your life?
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Chronic cancer. I mean, chronic leukemia, right? And here I am going to the doctor to talk to the oncologist, and he's telling me that I had it for a very long time. And, you know, these are the things that we made. Well, thank God he said you had it for a very long time. But after going through many testing while I was also going through rehearsals, preparing for the October production, right? But I refused to say no. I would leave, taking a PET scan, getting shot with needles all day, glucose going in the IV, going through the testing for hours, and then I go right at 7 o'clock at nighttime and do 2 hours of rehearsals on Zoom. I did that for 3 months. Refused to say no. Refused to say no. We can't do this production in October. We're gonna do this because I said yes to it, and we did it. You know, but I'm still. But my storm.
Wild.
But my storm is still going on with this chronic cancer. I'm still dealing with it. You know.
Yeah. But you just refuse to say no. You refuse to let it manifest into your life and your existence and just shut everything down.
No, I refused.
You just went through it.
I went through it, and I once again, God put me through another situation that taught me strength, right? From that strength, from days of crying, but I came out of that. So, you know, David, he cried and cried and cried, and he picked himself up. He's like, all right, it ain't gonna change. This ain't changing unless God changes. So there's no need for me to cry. I got work to do.
Right.
So I picked my butt up, pivot, right. You know what I'm saying? And from that, God led me to do a podcast called McClam Strong, right? So I do this McClam Strong podcast. I got an IG account. Anybody want to follow that? It's called McClam podcast. I'm sorry, McClam Strong _podcast, where I'm talking to people who have cancer, who's dealing with cancer, who's going through the chemo, who's in remission of cancer. And one lady today who's dealing with cancer sent me an email or sent me a post on Instagram and said, thank you for encouraging me. Because I said, hey, on my Facebook storyline, I got a picture of me just sitting there in the steps, just looking down, like I don't want to go to the gym.
Right.
But in that capture, I said this here, Angela. I said, I normally go to the gym. I have to go to the gym now, not only to strengthen my mind and my body, is because now I'm fighting for my life now. I gotta keep those things strong. I gotta have that McClam strong attitude by everything I do, because as soon as I let down and let go and start worrying and doubting God, I feel that cancer is gonna take over me. But if I stay positive, I trust in God, and could continue to be McClam's strong attitude, cancer ain't gonna do nothing to me. It's just gonna stay dormant, like the doctor said. It's there, but it's not attacking your cells. So we ain't gonna touch it. We're just gonna monitor you.
So let me say hello to our guests. We have Alicia. We have Mr. and Mrs. Fletcher. Hey, Mama. Hi, Pops.
Hey,
we have the Conwards joining us. We have Aunt and Threat. We have, get the youth ministers involved. Okay.
Amen.
Warren Fletcher said, get the youth ministers involved.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Ministries, sorry. So yeah, you talked about the ministries, and the youth. So okay, through COVID, I understand you did a production, streamed it. You have a podcast.
I'm a Christian. We didn't stream it.
We didn't stream it. Sorry. Okay, production in the midst of COVID.
Right.
You have a podcast, McClam Strong. Right. You're working on a web series.
Yes.
I'll make sure I have them all down. You are working on a short film.
Yes.
And you are also working on a video.
A video where the Kevin have turned me from the writing point and directing point. He turned me into an actor. So your viewers, right? Your viewers, my viewers, and people who are working behind me, they're now gonna see me as an actor in this area. So I'm looking forward to that video coming out.
I'm gonna need another sheet of paper to write down all your titles, like stage play, director, producer, short film writer, web series writer, in the video now. Yes. Goodness gracious. Yeah. You are doing the most, sir.
All because I said yes.
All because of yes.
Yes.
2008.
2008.
You said yes, and the floodgates have opened, and you haven't stopped.
Nah, I haven't stopped since then. So that's what? How many years? That's going on what?
12?
12 years? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long time, non-stop, working hard for the glory. You know what I'm saying? For the kingdom.
To God be the glory.
You know?
To God be the glory. So, we had to pivot once again. My second co-host just can't get in.
Oh man.
So we still have him.
Okay.
But we're gonna pivot a little differently. Right. You know this gentleman because actually one of your, or probably several of your productions were live in Middleton Hall.
Yep.
In Maryland. Yes. And you were associated with someone during that time.
Yes.
Chef Kendall Selby. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, that's the man.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna pivot and we're gonna do something a little different because my good friend Chef Kendall Selby could not connect to my StreamYard, so we just gonna talk to him on the phone. Because we gonna pivot, y'all. This is what we do. If one thing doesn't work, we gonna do something different. So let me see how I can do this here.
There we go.
Does that work for us?
I see him.
All right. Chef Selby, how are you, sir?
Blessed. I'm doing well, thank God.
Can you hear him good, Akiva?
Oh, I got him loud. I'm gonna put mine on mute. If you want me to put mine on mute?
Oh No, we're good. We're all having a conversation. It's all good. I was just I was giving him a moment to try to see if he can connect. But it wasn't okay. I'm just trying to get this angle right. I'm sorry. So it wasn't coming through. So again, in business in general, everything's not going to always go your way. Everything's not going to go the way, ideally, the way you want it to go. So we have to know how to be flexible, right? We have to know, oh, is that better? Let's see. We have to know how to make different plans and do things differently. So with that, welcome, Chef Kendall.
Thank you, sis. Thank you for being patient with me. And normally I have people to do this for me, but I just moved into my office. Not quite set up, but just wanted to talk about pivoting.
Right.
Yeah, just moving into my office, so I didn't really get all set up yet.
Okay, let me see. Can I just do you? Hold on, let me see real quick. If I can just put you, because it's showing my video too. So let me see real quick. If I can just, there we go. I was like, I know I could figure it out. All right. So I'm just gonna hold it. Okay. There we go. So Chef Kendall, you are the chef where?
At Middleton Hall, and I'm rebranding my own company called Selby's Food and Event Catering Services.
Okay. So you are a chef. How, okay, well, first question. What's the history behind you getting your name? How did you how did you become a chef?
Well, ever since I was 11 years old, I wanted to be a chef. I have never done anything else other than this. I was inspired by my grandmother, who was the first African American pastry chef in the Empire State Building. And I mean, like every time I would go to my Nana's house, it would just be, she always made me feel like I was an only child, regardless to, I come from a large family of 14, and I'm the last, the baby of 14 children. And that's how I became a chef, and she just inspired me to do that.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. So your name, how did you think of your name? Where's your name derived from?
My name of the business?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it has a lot of heritage connected to that, because my name is Selby. My last name is Selby, and I connected this to both grandmothers on both sides. My mother's last name is maiden name is Marshall, and that's where I became. I learned Big Mama, and that's where I got the Big Mama's fried chicken from. And so all of my new menus for all of the things that I'm doing in the future will have Big Mama's name and everything about my family that's connected to my business.
Okay. And so I'm trying to get some things happening, and they're not happening. But it's all good. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. Okay, can we still see you? Okay. Let's try something different. I have to pivot. Okay. But that's not working out either. That's fine. Okay, so you had a passion to become a chef at age 11. What was your journey? How did you start? Where did you go? Were you homegrown? Were you educated? Were you trained?
Yes, I am trained. I graduated with at the French Culinary Institute in Manhattan.
Manhattan.
3 pitches down from mine is Bobby Flay. Me and Bobby graduated in the same class. And I just, I've always, this is all I've ever done. I opened the first American hotel in West Africa for the president of Senegal. Then I also opened the Hyatt Hotel in Brunswick, New Jersey. And then I was the chef for the governor's mansion for 21 New Jersey. Then I came to Waldorf.
So what brought you to the DMV?
A friend of mine called me, actually a friend called me and asked me could I help open a Moroccan Mediterranean restaurant in DuPont Circle.
Mm-hmm.
So he had bought my house, put me up in Pentagon City, and I was there for 2 years on a contract, and I helped him put his restaurant together, and then I liked it here, and I stayed.
Okay. Did you say Bobby Flay?
Yeah.
You were in. So yeah, that was a question. Bobby Flay. And another question, where is the venue? So Middletown Hall, where can we find you?
Okay, well, you can find me. Well, I got some good news for you, though.
Okay.
Well, I bought the Ruby Tuesdays in the mall.
Say that. Wait a minute. I need you to say that slow.
I bought the Ruby Tuesdays in the mall.
And what mall will that be, sir?
That's in St. Charles.
St. Charles Mall. Chef Kendall Selby purchased the Ruby Tuesdays that was been shut down for many years. So you're now the owner of that space.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me more.
There will be, the cuisine. I'm just putting things all together as we speak now. I'm doing a soul food menu with international specials. Now, I'm bringing also some New York chefs also to partner with me to do this. We're looking for this to be the venue for some colored folks to be able to come and enjoy themselves.
Like me. So I met Chef at Middleton Hall in Southern Maryland. Is that Waldorf? I don't even know if that area is. It is still Waldorf? Okay, Middleton Hall in Waldorf, Maryland. Are you still operating?
Right now, we're under COVID. We had to shut down.
Okay. So that was definitely my saving grace over the summertime, right? Because what did you do? Okay, so let's rewind for a moment. While you were at Middleton Hall and COVID happened, how were you affected in a restaurant business? How did that affect the restaurant business? How did it affect you particularly?
Well, it affected me personally simply because this is all I ever know. I've never been home for Valentine's. This is the first time in 20 years that I'm going to be home for Valentine's. Normally, I'm doing Valentine's dinners for all over the place and for all kinds of special stuff that is happening. This time, I kind of went into my cocoon and started just pulling out all my books and recalibrating myself so that therefore, when I push this baby out, talking about the Ruby Tuesdays, the Selbys in the mall, that I want this to be something that I have to write a press release for. I have to write that because I want this to be something that's going to be just something that Southern Maryland has never seen before.
Nice. Okay. So while you were at Middleton Hall, pandemic happened. The internal occupancy was shut down. You came up with an idea. You pivoted. You didn't just close your doors. What did you do to sustain your business during COVID?
I just had to, I thought about it, and I was like, I started talking to the guy, and I said, you know what, guy? I said, you didn't bring me this far to be a curbside chef. I've been a banquet chef all these years,
Mm-hmm.
and had some really high-powered guys, I want to say, a lot of influence, very smart people. And like, what am I going to do? How am I going to eat? I don't have anybody writing checks for me. I do my own thing. All these guys down here, for the most part, they work for the federal government. I don't work for him.
Mm-hmm.
So they're getting these checks, and I'm not getting that. So what I got to, what to do? So he said, you have the land. You have the land, so let's do something with that. And I was like, you know what? Backyard, tents, let's give some live entertainment. Let's give, people some, obviously some alcohol.
Obviously.
And it started coming together. People would bring their lawn chairs and sit outside and enjoy themselves. And I get joy just to seeing that people are enjoying themselves.
So your pivot was to not shut your doors, but to move outside.
Yes.
You had tents, you had lights, you brought the catering outside, you had live entertainment.
Yes, ma'am.
Every weekend. And I became a normal, regular, what do you call them? A regular quickly. Because the first time I went there was, well, not the first time, but during the pandemic, I wanted to support Juneteenth. And you had a Juneteenth event. And even in that, you had to pivot because it rained outside when you were going to do it outside, and you moved everything inside. It was still COVID, so you had to maintain the occupancy restriction, right? And I believe, sir, Mr. Akiva, you were a participant in that event as well, right? On Juneteenth.
I was, yes, I was.
Right?
Uh-huh.
So I love my little community.
Mm-hmm.
I love this community. I went there and I had Big Mama's fried chicken.
Yes, Big Mama's.
Lord, and I said, I got to come back here. I don't know when they're gonna be open next. I don't know how I'm gonna get it, but I'm gonna need me some Big Mama's fried chicken again. And you announced that starting on that Friday or the following Friday, that weekend, that you were going to be open outside, setting up tents. You can get your menu and to come and have live entertainment. And I have to tell you, Chef, that was my godsend because I was in the house all day, every day. And I had no interaction with like real live people because I was teleworking. So that was literally my escape every week, to just come and have delicious food. And I'm gonna tell you, I've had everything on the menu. Everything. Because when I tell you I became a regular, you can attest. I was there every week. It's like, let me try the shrimp. Let me try the steak and cheese. I want to try the chicken and cheese. I want to try the what other things did you have on your menu that I indulged in?
Yeah, we had everything on there. I had gyros on there. I had
The gyro. Yep.
yeah, Big Mama's fried chicken. I had macaroni and cheese, greens. I mean, you name it, we was making it. And the good part about it is my menu is never ever the same.
Right.
You know? So, because I get bored cooking the same things over and over and over and over.
Mm-hmm.
We want you to have the best experience.
Welcome, Dominic. Thanks for tuning in, brother. He said, I'm very excited about 2021 this year for Black Excellence at an all-time high. I'm humble with excited with brothers and sisters. Absolutely. Absolutely. So you also, on Sundays, you started a Sunday brunch. That was outstanding and delicious.
Yeah, we did that. The Sunday brunch with unlimited mimosas. We just wanted folks to be the house, tried to make it affordable for people so that you can come and you can get a good meal that's made from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. So that therefore you're not getting any processed food. You're not getting nothing.
Right. Everything was fresh because I heard it, I smelt it, I tasted it. So tell us about the other initiatives that you incorporated during COVID. What else are you into? What else did you do?
Well, we did comedy as well. We did a little bit of comedy outside. We did what else? I mean, we did anything I can do outdoors. I did drive through. Then I got corrected because I put on my flyer a drive through, and then a friend of mine who I respect very much in our community has said to me, if my food is too good to put drive through on,
Yeah.
curbside.
Okay.
Change the verbiage on that and to make it curbside at Middleton Hall. And I just I listen to the people who purchase from me.
Mm-hmm.
I can give it to you, and I can make it happen. You know what I mean? From Spanish food to African food, French, Italian, and so on.
So I know I participated in something with a book signing.
Yes, you did.
What happened? Okay. So tell us a little bit about that. What happened?
So I got a call from a brother that was writing the book, and he had asked me to be a part of a chapter writer, an author, with all of these 14 men from all over the country. And I said, okay, all right. Well, I think he was a little surprised that I had a lot of information because I journal every day.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I journal every day. I don't know many guys that really do that, but I journal my life every day. And so it was easy to go back into my notes to pull my information to give to him to put into this book.
Mm-hmm.
The title of the book is called When Men Lean In, We All Can Win. And I just thought that was a profound title because that's exactly what I think needs to happen. I think that when men come together, anything is possible.
Okay, say that for me one more time, Chef. When men lean, I don't know where I was typing. Hold on.
We all can win. Okay, you can get that at Amazon. You can call me. You can cash out me. You can get it from me. You can get it online or whatever.
All right. Okay. I'm trying to maneuver. I'm pivoting with two hands, people.
I appreciate it.
All right. When men lean in, we all can win. So you are now a author, or you contributed to a book. That's amazing. I love how I'm talking to wait a minute, Akiva, what's your other nickname? Renaissance man.
Congratulations,
because we're doing the most. Congratulations.
Yeah,
so through COVID, you not only refused to close your doors, but you pivoted and you decided to do something that you've never done before. You maneuvered your banquet hall into an outside oasis. And I mean that word with all respect. It was an oasis because for me, like I said, it was my escape every week. The food was delicious. The entertainment was outstanding. And yeah, and I became a regular quick. And then you became a contributor in a book, when men lean in.
Yep. We all can win.
We all can win. And then you went on and purchased Ruby Tuesdays in St. Charles Mall in Waldorf, Maryland. So what are you going to do with that?
Let's see. I always think that ambiance, good food, and good entertainment all goes together.
Mm-hmm.
So I plan to have that as an entertainment piece.
Okay.
So
tell us more. What do you mean? What kind of entertainment?
All kinds of, if anybody follows me, social media, they know I love jazz. I love gospel. So I plan to have all of those things like I had at Middleton Hall. But more, this will be set up just like theater.
Just like what?
Theater. So, in other words, sort of like this will be a restaurant, but this will be more like a supper club.
Oh, okay. So what kind of cuisine will you prepare?
Well, Big Mama's fried chicken will be on there.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's all about Big Mama, and then I named some things after my mother, and I named some. I'm tailoring the menu as we go. But my father is he's a Gullah Geechee. He's from Charleston, South Carolina. So they eat a lot of okra and shrimp grits and all of that stuff. So all of that stuff will be like incorporated into my menu. I have a drink on my menu. It's not necessarily my family, but I think it is a good seller. It's called Dump Donald Trump.
Okay, well, another drink idea from one of our watchers was consider mocktails for those that don't drink alcohol.
Absolutely.
So, absolutely.
The good part about that is I'm leaving that into my daughter's hands, whom is a Somalian.
Okay.
And she's professional. She knows that stuff very, very well. She's one of 10 that's in the country that is African American.
One of 10?
Yes.
In America?
In America.
Wow. Wow. I am in great company. I love networking with you guys. I feel like I know people now.
Even is off the chain. He's a talented brother.
Thank you, my brother. I have to say the same thing about Chef. with that mama chicken, man. I'm telling you. Bring it back.
I hope you listening, because that dude right there is a bad dude, Doc.
And the funny thing is, I actually met Akiva at Middleton Hall when I was finger sucking. And I look, I'm not ashamed. Finger sucking chicken and cheese steak. And Akiva over here, excuse me, man, excuse me, ma'am. I'm like, I got time to talk to you. What you want? He was like, what are you eating? I'm eating that good chicken and cheese steak. He's like, man, that look good. That smell good. And I was like, it is good. Leave me alone.
And I had to try it.
And he had to try it, right? It's delicious.
It was to bring people together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that is the goal. You know what I mean? Food, like if you read the title of my chapter, the catalyst to the soul, it will make two perfect strangers communicate. So it will make people, you know what I mean? And that's all good news that, that you guys have met right there.
Right.
Yeah, I met some great people there, including you, because I became a regular. I mean, you were so gracious, and you always made me feel welcome. Even, we had these big, huge tables, those times that we had to go inside, and I just felt comfortable still in your establishment, even through COVID, because it was a banquet hall. So it was huge. It wasn't a small restaurant. And you just made it comfortable for everyone. So we were at this huge banquet table, and it would just be like me and 2-3 other people spread out, socially distant. The tables were well far apart. You didn't even have to squeeze through because they were far apart enough. So I was grateful that you were still able to maintain during COVID, because a lot of restaurants had to fold, and they couldn't maintain, right?
Angela, that was nothing but God, because I don't know how in the world that even happened. Honestly, I don't even how that even, we stayed afloat. And just until really 2 weeks ago, I just decided to just, I just decided, I was like, I took through a lot. I took my staff through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
One of my employees got sick, and that prompted me to just, I can't lose none of these people.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I said, I can't lose them, and I'm going to close the doors. And, some of them I still pay.
Oh.
Just, I want them to be on my team. I just want to show the loyalty that I have, that they showed to me.
Yeah.
During the whole pandemic.
That's outstanding. Outstanding. So, are you doing anything currently? Do you do private parties if someone wanted a private party?
Yeah, so I do private stuff. I do all off premise right now.
Okay.
If you something, you can still get it from me. But as far as coming in the hall, because then you got to decontaminate everything, the bathrooms, the chairs, the tables, everything that everybody touches. You know what I mean? I don't want to have to do. It saves me a little bit of money, to be honest with you. It's cost effective to me.
Okay.
It just eats it up. They don't give up all that money for nothing.
Right. Okay. So how can the viewers get in contact with you, Chef Selby?
Well, you can follow me on social media, all platforms, at Chef Kendall TV.
Chef Kendall TV.
Yes. And Angela, I'm going to send you this picture. I'm going to text it to you. You can send it to your viewers.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. So we're going to share all of the information with both Chef Selby and McClam Enterprises there. So thank you both. Oh, did we lose him? Hold up.
I think he's still there.
Oh, he's trying to send me the he's trying to send me the text already. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So I thank you both for participating, especially Chef, because I called him 48 hours ago and I texted him and I was like, hey, I have a favor. I have a urgent favor that I need to ask. You know, can you give me a call? Can we talk? And we did, and he immediately like, anything you need, sis. And that just warmed my heart, and I really appreciate that. Making yourself available for little old me, my little old live stream. I certainly appreciate it. I certainly appreciate it. So, Mr. Akiva, how can we get in contact with you?
So I'm on Facebook at Akiva Reniassance Man McClam on Facebook, and Akiva_McClam Enterprise on IG, or McClam Enterprise Production. You can go to my website, McClaменterpriseproduction.com. Angela, real quick, I just want to just give Chef my flowers, and based on behalf of the community as well. A lot of time, a lot of people don't realize that every time he put on a production or an event at Middleton Hall, he always gives somebody an opportunity to shine.
Yeah.
He have black businesses, or he have a business regardless. He give you the mic and have you give you opportunity to share your dream, your vision, and things like that. I think it was every Wednesday, Thursday he was doing. He always give you a mic on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
we give you your flowers now. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate you, Chef, and what you've been doing for the community, what you're about to do even more for the community. We need you, and we thank you so much for everything you're doing.
Thank you for mentioning that, Akiva, because Chef, thank you. You used to hold monthly community pop-ups.
Yes, it was weekly.
Weekly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we call it date night, but it's not necessarily for you to bring your significant other. It's for us to do business together.
Okay. So you had vendors there.
Yep.
And
business owners, bakers. I mean, listen, there was a girl who started against the wall with a table. Now she has a bakery in National Harbor.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, with cheesecakes, and she's just doing phenomenal. It just blew my mind that happened right in Middleton Hall.
There we go. See, you're making things happen.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Listen, you know, I truly believe this, that, you know, if I can't help you, I'm not going to hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh, that's good.
I don't believe in trying to put somebody, you know, just on a platform. I want to take you from the crib to a king size bed.
That's awesome. But you were doing something else on Saturdays that you had a lot of vendors.
Yes, I did.
What was that?
This was all Black small business owners.
There we go.
So we did, you know, we did that outside, you know, all summer long, and wanted to bring the community together after this, you know, this pandemic. You know, these are people that were really, you know, some of them don't have no other income.
Right.
So I wanted to buy from people who look like me,
and
that had something to offer to the community that you can't find in Walmart, that you can't find in Target, these big box stores. You know, and I wanted to support them, even if it costs $2 or $3 more.
You always gave people opportunities, and that's what I respected from you the most, and that's what made me continue to come, because I seen how much you cared about the community. You always had somebody performing, you had pop-ups, you had events to help our community. And I was just so impressed.
Yeah.
So thank you. As Akiva said, thank you. I'm sorry?
Akiva was a part of that too. I mean, he did his program there, you know, so we did like, you know, he did a Broadway play there.
That's what we're gonna make it. So Akiva, how many productions did you actually have in Middletown Hall?
So we did 2 nights at Middleton Hall, and
Middleton?
wonderful thing that Chef believed in me. We partnered up and did 2 shows there, and because of COVID, it's kind of like stopped because he was going to allow me to do that every year, from November to December, that Christmas production that we wrote.
Wow.
Yeah.
So see, you were opening up to do that for, you know, another brother to help him out, to advance him, like you always do.
No doubt about it. Listen, if I'm going to lose to anybody, it's going to be somebody who looks like me.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Yep.
Hallelujah.
I'm never going to lose to anybody else. I'm going to throw the rock further. I'm going to jump higher. I'm going to work harder. I'm going to do everything I can. But if there's somebody who look like me, I'll surrender.
All right. All right. I hear that. That's good to know. Akiva, so we are closing our hour.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you want to add? Any closing remarks?
Just like one of your viewers just said, we look forward to this year in 2021 of Black excellence, you know, doing things, working together, unity. This is our year. We gotta, you know, it's just working together. That's all I want to do. And I want to thank Chef for all the things he have done for the community and also giving me help as well. And also, Angela, thank you for allowing us to be on the show as well. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. We definitely appreciate you coming on. Okay, Mr. Chef Selby, any closing remarks, sir?
No, I'm just looking forward to it again. And, you know, Selby's is coming. I'll text you the info too.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really know if you wanted to put it out today, but, you know, God just said, go ahead and do it. What's going to happen is going to happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm just so looking forward to things being over. I'm so glad that 45 is going. And
hallelujah.
You know, it just makes it feel. I just feel so like a burden has been lifted off of me in this pandemic, because you know, we've been lied to about how to deal with it. You know, we could have saved some lives in the process of it. You know, and then we are the last people to get the vaccine, all of that kind of. So I just, you know, I just say, God is in control. He is the lifter of my head.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, thank you so much. We will definitely put both of your contact information on my site. You both have pages and websites, and I'm going to share all of that information with everyone, sharing it to your pages. You know, like Chef said, we share and we network, and we're going to get through this thing together. So again, thank you both very, very much for agreeing to join me in my second show now, Thursdays at 6 o'clock, Business Mindset with Shea Boss, every Thursday at 6 o'clock. Next week, we will focus our topic on I'm Grown, How to Market Yourself, with Miss Tiffany Bell and Ayanna Thomas. That's going to be a Queen's night, people. So come and join the Queens. These two women are just dynamic, just like the two gentlemen that I spoke with. I'm just so happy and humbled to be involved with so many business-minded people. I've learned so much since launching my business, Assured Business Office Services, sheaboss.com. And I've networked with all of these different people that you will see every Thursday. I've had some kind of relationship with. Either they were my client, or I've utilized their services, or ate their food. Something. They did my hair, they did my makeup, they did my jewelry. Something had a connection with them. So I'm proud and humbled to have so many people reach out and agree to help me on my venture, to help me network, to help share information. Last week I had so many people reach out and said, I was inspired by the stories that you talked about last week. And it inspired me to do some work. It inspired me to do a business. It inspired me to do something different. Hey, Rochelle, thank you for joining us. With other businesses, just wanting to develop a social network. We're like, hey, sis, I have this, it was a great program. I have a business, let's network. Thanks, Dominic. I appreciate you. And we're going to grow from this. So that was my whole purpose in doing these broadcasts, to demonstrate to each other that we can do it together. We don't have to be crabs in a barrel. We don't have to pull each other down. We can help each other and build each other up instead of tearing each other down. So that was my goal in doing this, sharing different businesses, networking, and just learning from one another. And hopefully someone now will see you don't have to have always education or experience. You can just have the gift that God gave you, like Akiva, and just do it. And doing the doggone thing, or yes, that's my passion, to be a chef, and that's the only thing that I want to do, and that's the only thing that I'm going to do, and encourage them to, that's what I'm going to do. And the topic of this show is going virtual and knowing how to pivot. And Akiva and Selby, they both had to pivot during this pandemic. Specifically Akiva, who had to go virtual to maintain his business, and Chef just doing something completely different. So again, I thank you all so much for joining me tonight. And again, look forward to next week, Thursday, February 18th at 6 o'clock, where the topic is I'm Grown, How to Market Yourself. We will talk to a resume writer from Liberty Writes and Tiffany Bell from IDS Solutions. She is a brand maker, a website administrator, and I'm excited. I'm working with her now. I've worked with Ayana before, so I'm excited to talk to these sisters next week. So join me Thursday, 6 o'clock, right here on live. Gentlemen, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Chef Kendall, Selby, and Akiva McClam Enterprise Productions. Thank you, guys. Thank you, people, for joining. Good night.
Good night.
We will see you next week. Dominic, the Fletchers, Rochelle, let's see who else. Alicia, the Conwards, Rat. They all joined us tonight. So thank you all for joining us. Good night.